So he went over and did the Flagrant podcast, and he had previously made Conor McGregor $1 million bet. $1 million bet on himself. He said, hey, I can beat Dylan Danis. And Conor had come out and kind of started this. Conor came out and defended Dylan, which I really did appreciate. I thought it was a cool move by Conor. But Conor, in his defense of Dylan, made a claim that he was training Dylan for the fight. Now, that just simply isn't accurate. But it's an important detail. Hold that thought. Logan made Conor $1 million bet. Crickets. Absolute crickets. Conor never said anything back. So Logan went on Flagrant, and he then upped it to a $2 million bet. Now, just conceptually, for me, that's funny. Let's say I was going to bet you guys. Right? Any one of you, we're going to do a bet. So I come in like a scumbag with money. I'm going to bet you $10,000. You go, I can't bet you $10,000. I'm out. Come on, man. Thought we were going to bet snacks or lunch or a cup of coffee. What do you mean 10,000? No, I'm not betting you 10 grand. Well, I thought you were sure about it. Well, I'm pretty sure about it. I'm not 10 grand sure. Okay, fair enough. So then I come back and tell you I'll make it 25 grand. Like, do I get you closer? Am I even going in the right direction? If I then come back and say I'll make it 50 grand, like, aren't I just getting further away from the deal? Not like this. Logan somewhere in his mind think, well, if I get high enough, Conor will say yes. Like, I'll turn this into 5 million if I have to, if that's what it's going to take to get a response. You didn't get the response. The million was too high, right? I mean, but it's one of these things. Logan's not doing anything wrong. I'm just pointing out that this is a humorous situation. Do you want to know why? Conor's not training him. And maybe Logan thought that he was. Like, these things do go around. Logan was trying to offer support, and he gave it to him. And if Dylan wanted to take him up on it and, like, get on an airplane and go to Ireland or wherever Conor's at, I mean, there would be a workout situation, but Conor's not a trainer. Right? I mean, that's one of the things. Like, that's not what he does. It came out in the news a couple weeks ago. Mike Tyson was going to train somebody. It's like, but there's one problem. He's not a trainer. It'd be just like you guys. You're going to plumb my house. And you look around and go, yeah, but I'm not a plumber. Right? It's like if Mike Tyson was really good at boxing, he's never trained anybody. By the way, he's 53 years old. I mean, they've asked him to help with the world team and the amateur teams and the Olympic teams. He never trained anybody. So, I don't know that Conor McGregor has either. Even on the set of The Ultimate Fighter, I'm not giving anybody a hard time. I'm just sharing. Maybe Logan doesn't know that. And moreover, as I was digressing this and thinking about bringing this to you guys, it did get me thinking about training in general. And speaking of training, who does Logan train with? I know there's an answer out there. I don't suggest for you that he's not training, but how come I don't know who he trains with? And there was even a very uncomfortable back and forth with Logan and Jake that I have chosen to believe was manufactured. It might not have been, but I hope that it was. I don't like to see two brothers fighting. I don't like that. And they get along so well. They have this true love for one another. So I think it was manufactured, but maybe not. Maybe they were airing a very rare grievance and they did it in front of us, but it had to do with who is the better boxer. And Logan said, I think I'm better than you. Told him straight up. And Jake didn't discount it. Like, Jake did not disrespect his older brother. But Jake did say, what are you basing that on? You do exhibitions, and you lost one of them. I'm undefeated. It was a very fair point by Jake. Logan countered it. He said, because I'm looking at guys I'd really like to fight with Will Fury. And Jake said, look, I think you just want to fight with the Fleury kid because he beat me. So if you go out and beat him, you can say you're better than me, when the reality is I had a bad night. It was one of these things, right? Are you uncomfortable as I'm telling you about this? Like, it was a little bit weird. But why would he have to think he's better than his brother? Don't they work out together? Aren't they at the same gym? Don't they share the same trainers? Aren't they splitting costs? Aren't they in the ring and back and forth and push and pull together? Maybe not. Maybe I have that wrong. I thought, I was under the impression they both lived in Florida and trained in Florida. And I've seen a number of Jake's training videos. But now that I think about it, I don't remember seeing Logan in those videos. I don't remember seeing Logan in the corner on the heavy bag or on the jump rope. I've seen Logan do those things. I haven't seen him in Jake's videos. Do they not train together? Do they not have the same coaches, the same workout partners, kind of the same routine? They did so much of their life together, right? I'm not just a YouTube star. You're a YouTube star. We're YouTube stars. I'm not just dancing and flipping pancakes. You're also dancing with me and flipping pancakes. I'm just sharing with you. I don't know who they train with. And Logan Paul made a very interesting claim after he debuted in wrestling. I can't think of the event. It could have been a Mania, but it was a massive pay-per-view. I think SummerSlam. He teamed up with The Miz. Then him and The Miz turn on each other, but it was a great spot. There was a triple suplex by Logan. There was high flyer stuff. He played to the crowd. He knew where to get a reaction. He claimed after that he had never practiced. Ever. Not even in the back that night. That's what he claimed. Many people called him out. Just said that's simply not possible. Because of how good he was. Said that's just simply not possible. But then a little bit of time went by. And you start to realize you can't keep a secret today. Somebody would have had a camera. Somebody would have, if he's working on spots, somebody would have snapped a picture. Some trainer somewhere would have wanted credit for this incredible student that they produced out of thin air. Nobody ever came forward. Nobody ever said they trained him. Nobody ever said they worked out with him. Nobody ever said they saw him in a gym. Nobody ever produced those photos. It became one of these things where you start to believe Logan and go, my God, maybe he didn't. And I don't proclaim that for boxing. I know that he works hard. I know that he does something to a degree. But if he is a rare enough athlete to go into that ring, I mean, did you see the spot at WrestleMania? I think it was on day 2 that he and KSI pulled off, because KSI gets the exact same credit. Did you guys see that when he came out in the prime spot? They put him on the table. There was a split second where there was a look away. When they looked away is where they put KSI, and Logan came back and jumped. You could practice that 100 times, and the best and most experienced are not guaranteed to nail that live. Not when there's a split second. Logan's on top. He looks away. He looks right back. In the look away, they replace who's on the table with his own business partner, and he gives him a frog splash. It was an incredible moment. And there are things about Logan that are making me believe he is a natural. When he went and fought Paulo Costa, even though he ended up getting cleaned up, he was more competitive than I thought he would have been. And you guys that saw the video all had that same opinion. Paulo Costa himself must have been like, man, I got to turn it up a notch on this guy. It's interesting. I know there's an answer out there. Maybe you guys have it. I'm genuinely asking you. Do you know the sparring partners? Do you know who the trainers? Do you know what gym it's at? I'd be curious. And as for Conor, ignoring $1 million bet, but accepting a $2 million bet, don't count on it.